Have you ever found yourself stuck in a situation that seemed impossible to escape? Like when your phone battery dies right before an important call, or you spill coffee on your only white shirt. Well, imagine being a wild animal facing a natural disaster. That's exactly what happened to our leopard. The heavy monsoon rains had transformed a peaceful watering hole into a raging torrent, trapping a hungry leopard inside. He had ventured to this spot after a successful hunt, hoping to quench his thirst and enjoy the cool waters. But Mother Nature had other plans. Without warning, the sky darkened and the watering hole overflowed, turning into a muddy pool of despair. As the water rose, the leopard found himself cornered. Panic surged through him, making him restless and uneasy. What could he do? How could he escape this watery grave? Let's find out. Our story begins in the lush green embrace of the Indian jungle, where our brave leopard roamed. This majestic creature, with its sleek spotted coat and piercing yellow eyes, was a formidable hunter. His days were spent in pursuit of prey, his nights in blissful solitude, or with his pride. He was a king in his domain, but even kings are not immune to fate's whims. Today was not like any other day. The sky wore a somber gray, and the wind carried a tale of impending doom. As our leopard lazed on a nearby branch, surveying his kingdom, he sensed something was amiss. The tranquility of the jungle was shattered by the distant rumble of thunder. The very air crackled with anticipation of a coming storm. He had hunted well that day, securing a plump meal of deer meat. His belly was full, and a sense of contentment washed over him. Now, he wanted to quench his thirst. He decided to head towards the watering hole, a place of respite in the heart of the jungle. Little did he know that this trip would change everything. Upon reaching the watering hole, his heart sank. The tranquil pool he knew so well had vanished. Instead, a raging torrent churned before him. The once placid waters had transformed into a swirling mass of muddy brown, reflecting the stormy sky above. It was a scene straight out of a nightmare. With a start, he realized he was trapped. The water had risen so quickly that the surrounding trees offered no escape. He was trapped in a watery labyrinth, unable to find a way out. Fear pricked at him, sharp and cold. What was he to do? Retreat was impossible. Escape seemed like a fantasy. All he could do was wait and hope the waters receded. As the night wore on, the storm intensified. Thunder roared like the awakened beast. Lightning flashed, illuminating the angry sky. The leopard paced restlessly, his eyes darting from side to side, his ears pricked for any sound of help. But the jungle was a silent, uncaring witness to his plight. The rain continued to pour, mixing with the roaring of the stream to create a deafening chorus. Every flash of lightning revealed the same grim reality: the rising water level, the narrowing escape routes. The leopard felt a surge of panic. He needed to act fast. In a desperate attempt to free himself, the leopard began to climb. With muscles taut, he scaled the tall trees, hoping to reach a higher ground. But his efforts were in vain. The ascent was treacherous, the branches slippery, and with each move, the relentless rain made his escape seem more and more futile. He clung to a tree, exhausted and drenched, watching helplessly as the water level continued to rise. Then, as if mocking his plight, a bolt of lightning struck a tree near him, sending sparks and dry leaves raining down. It was a dramatic display of nature's fury, a reminder of his helplessness. Defeated, he slid down the tree, sinking into the mud. Was this the end? Was he destined to drown in this watery prison? The thought was terrifying. Suddenly, he heard a noise, a sound that cut through the roar of the rain. It was a grunt, deep and resonant, like the call of a distant elephant. The leopard's ears perked up. Could it be? Was he being answered? Hope flickered within him. Through the downpour, he saw them emerging from the dense foliage. It was a small herd of wild boars, their tusks gleaming, their eyes bright with curiosity. They stood there watching him, their snouts twitching. Were they here to help? The leopard couldn't fathom it. These creatures were known for their tenacity, their fierce independence. Why would they care about his plight? Yet there they were. And something in their stance, in their demeanor, told him they meant him no harm. As if sensing his bewilderment, one of the larger boars stepped forward. It sniffed the air, its nostrils flaring. Then it did something unexpected. It charged towards the rising water, ramming the muddy bank with its tusks. Again and again, the boar charged, its tusks carving into the soft earth. With each impact, the water level shifted, creating a narrow channel leading away from the trap. It was a risky move. The boar could easily have been swept away in the strong current, but it pressed on undeterred. Encouraged by the boar's actions, two more boars joined in. Together, they pushed, shoved and dug, their tusks working in unison to loosen the soil. The leopard watched in amazement. These wild boars, these creatures of habit, were showing remarkable ingenuity and teamwork. As the channel widened, the leopard knew his chance had come. He gathered his strength and with a powerful leap, he jumped into the water. He swam with all his might, battling the strong currents, his limbs churning the water. He was determined to reach the safety of the shore. It was a struggle, but the boars kept at it. They knew that their efforts would mean the difference between life and death for the leopard. Finally, the leopard managed to scramble onto the bank, gasping for breath, his body shaking with exhaustion. He looked back at the boars. They had risked their own safety to help him. Gratitude swelled within him, replacing his earlier bewilderment. He had expected hostility, not camaraderie. One of the boars, as if understanding his thoughts, let out a loud grunt. It was a sound of triumph, of solidarity. Then, as quickly as they had appeared, the boars disappeared into the thick undergrowth, leaving the leopard alone on the shore. Shaking off the last of his fear and exhaustion, the leopard realized he was indeed free. The immediate danger had passed. The storm had subsided, leaving behind a trail of destruction and a valuable lesson for the leopard. He had underestimated the kindness of strangers. He had judged them by his own standards, expecting animosity instead of aid. Yet they had shown compassion, empathy, and courage. As the sun peeked through the clouds, casting a golden glow on the wet foliage, the leopard surveyed the damage wrought by the storm. The jungle floor was littered with debris, branches lay strewn across the water, and the once familiar watering hole was now a muddy mess. But amidst the destruction, life was stirring. Birds tweeted from their drenched perches, insects buzzed, and the air vibrated with the songs of frogs. The jungle was resilient. It was healing, and so was the leopard. The ordeal had shaken him, but it had also humbled him. He realized that survival wasn't always about claws or teeth. Sometimes it was about the strength of character, the will to live, and the kindness of others. From that day forward, the leopard carried the memory of the wild boars deep in his heart. They had taught him a lesson he would never forget. They had shown him that even in the darkest of storms, a helping hand, or should I say, a helping tusk, was never too far away. This encounter left an indelible mark on him, shaping his view of the world and its inhabitants. The wild boars had saved him, not because they owed him anything, but because they chose to do the right thing. Their act of kindness was a testament to the unpredictability of nature and the depth of compassion that existed even in the wildest of hearts. As the leopard continued his journey through the rejuvenated jungle, he understood that life was a tapestry woven with moments of struggle and grace. The struggle was real, but so was the grace. And he was fortunate enough to have witnessed both. Now it's time for you to write your own story. Stay tuned by subscribing to our channel for more incredible tales. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this journey, and share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time with another captivating adventure from the wild.